What's up guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we're going to take a behind the scenes look at a client shoot that I did with the Osmo Pocket 3 as my main camera. Yes, I got paid to do a shoot with this thing and it was really incredible. I filmed all of the behind the scenes on the Rayban Meta Smart Glasses. I'm going to talk you through my process, the settings that I used and the decisions that I made, and you're going to see what the footage looks like for behind the scenes on one of what I think is probably the best behind the scenes cameras. And you'll get to see the actual outcome of that process with the footage from the Osmo Pocket 3. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this project started out, I was actually doing a bit of remote work in Lisbon at the time, and a client that I was doing YouTube content for called me up asking if I could film a yacht show and a vineyard in Cannes. The brief was pretty vague and we weren't really sure what we were going to film, and I actually didn't have all of my camera gear with me. Normally if I'm going to do a client job, I'll have my Canon R5 or the C70, but I didn't have any of that gear with me, unfortunately. I had my Osmo Pocket 3, as I always carry it with me for making YouTube videos and stuff like that, so that's what we decided to use. I flew to France from Portugal, got a rental car. We are on our way to, how does this work? Okay, I guess it's one of those scenarios where you just put the key on the dash. So it's the morning of the Cannes Yacht show, and I am going to the Cannes Yacht show to do some filming. So I ended up getting a rental car, driving to Cannes and meeting the client. So as soon as I arrived, we had an opportunity to capture aerials. That was the first thing I wanted to do in the morning before the show really opened and got busy. I wanted to capture those establishing shots. So I put the Mini 4 Pro up to capture these. The thing is awesome, you know, the range is really good. The image quality is quite good as well. It's kind of all you need, and it pairs really well with the Osmo Pocket 3. I always like to film from outside of the location and fly in and fly out. Where there's no people as well. This yacht show is apparently one of the biggest in Europe, so it was really impressive to see all of the yachts from all the different locations. So here we're in the yacht show and I'm just filming some stuff for the client. The idea was to go to different booths and do different content based on different things that were going on. I had a lot of time to walk around and to film B-roll, so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Admiring all of these yachts, they're absolutely incredible. And then also we ended up having a connection with Burgess Yachts. So they had one on show that we were going to film and talk about the financing of and how much it would cost to purchase a yacht like this, how much sort of money you would need, and the running costs and all of that sort of stuff. So there was an interview component to it and also a walkthrough component to it. It was a last minute, this wasn't even planned, I wasn't even sure that we were going to be able to, what we were even going to be doing, so I had to be really quick and at like capturing all of this stuff on the fly. So I did a little walkthrough with the boat, just set my settings, I think to 4K 60 so I could slow everything down in post. It's handy to slow stuff down so it looks a little bit more cinematic. The challenge that you have though is if you're inside doing interiors, then of course you're dealing with low light. The Osmo Pocket 3 is quite good though because it has that 1-inch sensor which lets a little bit more light in, but it's still going to be no comparison to a full frame sensor on the R5. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going through putting the camera in various different modes, often in tilt lock mode as well, trying to get smooth shots. I'm also adding the wide angle lens to it as well. This is really helping when I'm going into the cockpit, into the tight areas, into the corridors and stuff like that. It's allowing me to get more perspective. Here I'm using the Freewell wide angle filter for the Osmo Pocket 3, and I've actually noticed that there is a little bit of blurriness around the edges. Not everything is in focus, which is a bit of a shame. If you are filming a subject, you have to make sure they're in the center of the frame to really get them sharp. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm just filming my interiors nice and slow, taking my time. It's often good to keep everything at kind of like middle of, when you're filming interiors. It's generally a good idea to keep everything kind of in the middle, halfway between the ceiling and the ground, to create a an even, like non-skewed image. It keeps the verticals vertical essentially. The next thing we ended up doing was going on this really crazy adventure yacht. We were filming some social media stuff. I used my 360 camera. And then after that, we went to the vineyard in France. Good morning, it's another day, and today we are at this beautiful vineyard behind me. It's the vineyard house, I guess, and it's sunrise. We're gonna get some amazing drone shots. Take off. Here we go, putting up the 4 Pro, getting some of those beautiful shots. Now this estate was absolutely beautiful. So peaceful and quiet in the mountains outside of Cannes. The idea was to film a piece of content about owning a vineyard. So the finances behind owning a vineyard and kind of some of the money, the profits that you can make from selling the wine and the process of making the wine as well. So there was going to be a tour component where we'd be filming wine making, and we were going to do a tasting session and then also film the property as well. They're open to filming and talking about the finances, the financial model, which has been really interesting. It was really interesting for me to see because I've never really ventured into that world. Here I'm using the Insta360 selfie stick, and I'm putting the Osmo Pocket 3 on that to try and get more of a stable shot. I was actually trying to eliminate some of the bobbing from walking, which is something that the Osmo Pocket 3 unfortunately doesn't really get rid of. Using the selfie stick as well allows you to get crane shots as well. If you put the camera in horizon lock mode, then you can kind of do low to high shots. And I ended up doing this for a bunch of different shots throughout the day using that crane shot as well. Another reason that the Osmo Pocket 3 is really great, if you were to do this with a gimbal and an R5, you'd need a way stronger monopod to do it, which is obviously something I've done as well in the past. So here we're just taking a look at the grounds, the property a little bit more, getting drone shots, and then we're filming the process of the winemaking, which was, like I said, super fascinating. So the benefit of having this Osmo Pocket 3 was that it was just so quick to like set up and go. This process, there are like a lot of things going on and we didn't want to interrupt the process of making the wine. So you kind of just had to grab and go, and this thing was the perfect tool for that. It's also very unintimidating in these environments where you're doing interviews, for instance. The subject, this guy was actually very familiar with being on camera, which was very, very handy. It makes a big difference. But if you do get a subject that is not used to being on camera, it's way less intimidating having this Osmo Pocket 3 than it is to, say, have a big cinema camera with all the shotgun mics and all these other things, monitor and attached to it. So now we're in the basement of the vineyard, of the winemaking production facility, and it was incredible the scale of this thing, like thousands and thousands and thousands upon of wine bottles from different eras, different seasons, and it was really, really cool down in the wine cellar where they had all of the barrels and learning about that whole process. So here I'm going through and getting all the B-roll. We also did a huge tour through there as well that I didn't get any behind the scenes of. It was very long-winded and a lot of talking. But if you want to see some more of that content, you can see it on the other video that I filmed. It's like probably 10 or 12 videos back in my catalog. But this was super cool because there was like a special reserve area for some of the really old wines, and there was one even from 1975, I believe, which was really crazy. We didn't get to taste that, but that would have been really cool. This guy is also an art collector as well, so he showed us through his art collections and stuff, and this area in particular was really, really interesting because it had all the barrels lined up in the basement, which was really cool. But the challenge here, of course, was also that it's a darker environment, way darker environment. And I was really pleased at how well the Osmo Pocket 3 managed to capture it, even in that low light scenario. So it was a really good test.
I didn't put it in low light mode, I actually kept it in the regular mode. And here I'm using the Mimo app as a way of using, as monitoring my shots. So like I said earlier, when I'm using the the Insta360 selfie stick extended, it's really hard to see that little screen on the Osmo Pocket 3. So using the Mimo app is actually a really great tool to monitor shots. And you could use this in various different ways as well. You could have a camera person like dedicated to making the moves, and you could kind of direct from it, and also control the gimbal as well, which ended up being super handy, and I've used it a lot. It really helps you get a good idea of what you're actually filming. I think that actually in the future, I might reach out to a company and see if I can get a rig. So just like the Ronin series of gimbals, they have a little attachment so you can put your phone on there. And I think it would actually be really handy to be able to attach your phone to the Osmo as well, especially for these more professional gigs. So there you have it. That is the footage from the Osmo Pocket 3 and the DJI Mini Pro drone. Pretty incredible what you can create with such a small camera. I hope you like this behind the scenes, taking a look at the footage from my Rayban Meta Smart Glasses and the Osmo Pocket 3, and maybe it gives you a little bit of inspiration or encouragement that you can do the same for your clients as well. This really is an incredible camera that keeps blowing my mind. And even recently with the most recent update where they added an extra focal length without reducing the quality is insane as well. If you like this video, please give me a like, leave a comment down below if you like these videos as well and you want to see more. It really helps me understand what sort of content to create. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.